Bombs are falling on Tehran. On February 28th, the United States and Israel started a war against Iran. These images were smuggled out of the country to me. I'm an Iranian filmmaker in exile. I asked two friends to document their daily lives with their cell phones. One in the capital Tehran, the other in Zahedan in Baluchestan in southeastern Iran. Finding a way to smuggle the footage out of the country took more than a month. Since the start of the war, the regime has cut the internet nearly completely. Getting through to my friends is extremely difficult. While I wait to hear from them, I scour social media, desperate to understand what's happening. Making this film carries a high risk. Iran's judiciary has threatened the death penalty on people who collaborate with hostile states or aid hostile foreign media. Arbitrary arrests like this one, filmed secretly in 2023 in Baluchestan, happen often. We hide our faces and our names. Our voices are re-recorded by actors. I've pieced together my friends' testimonies from the text and voice messages they sent anytime they managed to connect to the internet. From within, they film. From outside, I carry their voices. I'm still haunted by these images. In January 2026, the Iranian regime forces killed thousands upon thousands of protesters in the streets. Security forces aimed deliberately at heads, eyes, and hearts to kill and to terrorize. The protests had started full of hope. Starting in late December 2025, huge numbers of Iranians took to the streets in mass protests all across the country. Driven by a collapsing economy, they demanded an end to decades of repression, calling for freedom and democracy. In return, they were met with brutal force. In the hospitals, plainclothes agents entered emergency rooms, arrested the wounded from their beds, and blocked doctors from treating them. It felt as if a whole society were falling into a state of collective trauma, deeper than any trauma before. Reports flooded in. For families to claim the body of their child, they had to pay a so-called bullet fee. Those who could not pay had to sign a document stating that their child had been a member of the Basij, the Iranian pro-regime volunteer militia, that they had not been killed by the state, but had died a willing martyr for it. What to do with all this grief? The regime clamped down on gatherings, on those in mourning, but people still found ways to honor their loved ones. Mourning itself became an act of resistance and protest. Going against Islamic customs, people sung and danced at funerals in defiance of the regime. Now Iranians are trapped between two wars, one inside the regime against its own people, the other from outside, started by the US and Israel. I keep trying to reach my friends inside Iran. I call, no answer. I send messages, nothing. But then...
Salam, I've tried to reach you for days. I finally managed to get through. I hope you receive this. We've started to film. We're being cautious. My name is Saleh. It's not my real name, but I have to protect my identity. I live alone. Early in the morning, I woke up to the sound of bombs. I usually get my news from social media, but that's not possible in this internet blackout. Now I have to watch state TV to try to understand what's going on, even though it's full of propaganda.
شهر تهران هستیم در پی شنیده شدن صدای چند انفجار که کمی بعد از شنیده شدن صدای این انفجارها وزیر جنگ رژیم صهیونیستی رسما اعلام کرد که حملاتی رو به تهران پایتخت جمهوری اسلامی ایران داشته. این در شرایطی هست که جمهوری اسلامی ایران طی روزهای اخیر و
I went to visit some friends who have satellite TV, hoping to get more information there. The reception kept breaking down. But then we saw images of smoke rising from the residence of Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. That same day, state TV reports that a girls' school in Minab, in the south of the country, has been bombed. A city very close to the Persian Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz. They say it was the enemy. With every report, the death toll kept rising. I feel devastated. I don't want my people to get killed. Later, it was reported on a satellite channel that Ali Khamenei was likely killed in the airstrike. I've been waiting for this news my whole life. Outside, we heard people cheering, celebrating the death of Khamenei. My heart is torn. I grieve for the killed girls, but I feel joy for Khamenei's death. For more than 36 years, he was the head of a system that made every execution, every assassination, every crackdown possible. I think of all the families who lost their loved ones in this violence.
کوه نستوه ولایت پدر مهربان امت رهبر و امام مسلمین حضرت آیت الله العظما سید علی حسینی خامنه‌ای در راه سربلندی حرم جمهوری اسلامی ایران شهد شعیب گوارای شهادت را نوشیدند.
My name is Behdad. I cannot give my real name. I'm a Sunni Muslim in a Shia Muslim theocracy. I am part of the Baluch minority. I live in the southeastern province of Sistan in Baluchestan, which borders both Pakistan and Afghanistan. State TV reports the regime declared 40 days of mourning for Khamenei. I am overjoyed by the news of his death. And yet, even saying it out loud, just repeating the words, Khamenei is dead, is enough to frighten me. The system is still there. The machine of oppression he commanded did not die with him. I tape the windows to protect me and my family from shattered glass, in case a bomb hits near our house. So far, my city has not been targeted, but I am worried. I am not happy that my country is being bombed, and at the same time, I hope the war will bring the fall of the regime. I have conflicting thoughts. This is our new normal. Cars wrapped around the block, hoping to get gas. But here in Sistan and Baluchestan, we've always been neglected by the regime. We're a poor province by design. We Baluch are Sunni Muslim in a Shia-majority country. The regime has marginalized and suppressed us for decades. They accuse us of being separatists, wanting to unite with the Baluch in neighboring Pakistan. But all we want is to be treated fairly in our own country. We struggled economically before the war. Now the situation has become unbearable. People line up for 6 or 8 hours for gas, only to arrive at the gas station and find out there's no more gas in a country rich with oil and gas. At the same time, the lack of infrastructure in Zahedan keeps us safe. There's less to be bombed in Zahedan than in Tehran. It's Ramadan. People still go out in the evening. But after the attack on the girls' school in Minab on the first day of the war, when more than 150 people, mostly young children, were killed, all the schools in the country were closed.
I try to reach my friend Saleh in Tehran. On social media, I see images of an apocalyptic inferno in the capital. Several oil facilities were bombed around the city. I'm relieved when I receive a voice message from Saleh.
I'm okay, don't worry. I heard on TV that we should stay home and keep the windows closed. Acid rain is falling.
After hearing Saleh's message, I watch more videos. The skies over Tehran are black. The city has been swallowed by darkness, even during the day. It's horrifying.
In the morning, the cars are covered by a black, oily film. It's hard to wash off, but I'm not worried about the cars, I'm worried about our health. People are breathing these toxic fumes. They're in the air, the soil, the water. Will we all be poisoned? Will it cause cancer? It's everywhere. What will happen to the plants and animals? I don't really like to leave the house anymore. There are checkpoints everywhere. They prevent us from going to the neighborhoods that were attacked. It's forbidden to film the destruction, so they search people's phones. State TV is showing a documentary on Mujtaba Khamenei, who was named the new supreme leader after his father was killed by airstrikes. The propaganda machine continues. We figured for years now that Mujtaba Khamenei was positioning himself to succeed his father. Now the time has come.
Zahedan is calm, but I'm worried about the cities that are being targeted. There are no shelters, no warning sirens, and the internet is cut. People can't receive reliable information about what's happening or reach their loved ones outside of the country. Like everyone in Iran, I receive several text messages every day from the authorities, ordering us to denounce anyone we know, including our neighbors, if we suspect they're sending images to foreign media, telling us that traitors and enemy spies are among us and that we must be vigilant. On state TV, they show forced confessions daily, mostly young people who were arrested in January's protests. They are coerced into repeating the regime's false claims that they spied for Israel, the enemy, that they instigated the protests on the enemy's behalf. These young people face execution. In 2025 alone, more than 1,600 people were executed in Iran. Since the war began, the regime's clampdown has grown fiercer, including in Baluchestan. Regime forces are everywhere on the streets. The atmosphere feels scary. I notice more and more armored vehicles, pickup trucks with heavy machine guns. We still go to Friday prayers despite the war. For us Baluch, it's an act of resistance. After the Woman Life Freedom Uprising of 2022, when protests had quieted down across the rest of Iran, people in Zahedan continued every week after Friday prayers for several months. The regime fears our resistance. Imam Abdul Hamid, a widely respected Sunni cleric here in Baluchistan, has spoken out against the regime's repression. Most Baluch people stand behind him. Tonight, I hear regime forces and supporters parading in the streets. They do it almost every night to show the people that they are still in charge and to spread fear.
I can't sleep. The sound of bombs and explosions continues all night. I haven't slept in 20 days. The attacks have been relentless, continuing into the morning.
Footage of the destruction in Tehran is coming through on social media. I know my friends cannot go and film these sites themselves. If they did, they could be arrested, accused of cooperating with the enemy, and even face the death penalty. 20 days into the war, more than 1,300 civilians have been killed, including more than 200 children.
State TV shows endless rallies of pro-regime supporters. I feel exhausted. The regime calls on its supporters to take to the streets across the country every day. I see regime supporters march down the street. And that same evening, I stumbled upon one of the pro-regime rallies on my way home from visiting a friend. A billboard reads, "Dear leader of Iran, your path continues." They're waving the flag of the Islamic Republic and chanting, "Down with America." One poster reads, "We will remain in the streets until Israel is humiliated." Another, "I sacrifice my life for the leader." I wonder who these people are. I'm surprised by how organized these rallies are. The regime seems to go to great lengths, even setting up a stage. They want to make us believe that they are the majority, but standing in the middle of the square, it feels hollow. On my way home, I gave a ride to a woman. She told me she was very tired, as she had been begging all day without success. She said she could not afford to buy the medicines her loved one needed. She also asked me for help, but there was nothing I could do for her. Even before the war, we barely got by. There's still food on the shelves, but it's getting harder and harder to afford. Prices have skyrocketed over the past weeks. Yogurt has become a luxury. It's so expensive they now offer payment plans. Making ends meet has long been a struggle. Now, for some, it's become impossible. I've come to the Tajrish Bazaar to buy seer, garlic, sabza, sprouts, even a goldfish. Everything I need for my half-seen table to celebrate the new year. I've never set one myself before, but this year it felt important. Every item on the table has meaning. Nowruz is about renewal and rebirth. I want to celebrate life in the face of death. The market was crowded. I thought it would be almost empty as the attacks on Tehran have not stopped. But many people came to the market, just like me. I pass by photos of children killed during the war. The number reads 237.
Outside it's quiet, but on TV there are calls for destruction and revenge. I iron my clothes to go to Eid al-Fitr prayers. There are some moments where everything feels normal, even though we wake up to the news of new executions every other day now. Last year, nearly 10% of all executions were of Baluch people. My thoughts are with the victims and their families as I go to attend the prayer for Eid al-Fitr, the celebration of the end of Ramadan. Just a day before, we learned that 3 young men, ages 19 to 21, were publicly hanged in the city Hom, south of Tehran, after being convicted of waging war against God in sham trials. This charge is often used to justify the regime's cruelty.
I'm happy to spend Nowruz with my girlfriend at the first half-seen table we prepared ourselves. Many of my friends left the city a couple of days before the war. I felt very lonely then. This year is the first I can remember not seeing Ali Khamenei giving his annual New Year's speech. It feels strange. On state TV, a statement by his son and successor, Mujtaba Khamenei, is read aloud. Since the airstrikes that killed his father, no one has seen him or heard his voice. Questions are swirling. How severe are his injuries? Could he be dead? The airstrikes continue. It's strange how I got so used to them.
In exile, I'm expected to go on living and working as if everything were normal. But I watch my country from afar, my family, the people I love live through war. I wasn't even sure if we could complete this film, if we'd ever even get the footage out of Iran. These are messages I received from Saleh and Behdad on April 8th.
On days when the air should carry the scent of the new year, the city feels suspended, like a long pause rather than a beginning, drained without excitement. A ceasefire has been declared. For 2 weeks at least, it seems we don't have to worry about bombs. I can sleep a little.
In Baluchestan, the constant fear that our country could be wiped out fades for a moment. But now the fear of the internal enemy looms even larger.